How's it going, everybody? So it's the afternoon here on Wednesday, and I am about to go try out some fishing. Water has been steadily dropping in the river the last few days, so hopefully that means there's more fish in this area than there usually are. Anyways, more video to follow, hopefully one with me actually catching a fish on camera. All right, so we're making our way down to the river. Already passed a few salmon carcasses from fish that have spawned out, so definitely looking promising. I'm not at my normal spot, but that's because I'm by myself. And clumsy old me, I'm the kind of guy that'll fall in the water when I'm not trying to, you know? So, yeah, trying to be safe. Anyways, looking like the water has some fast spots and some not so fast spots. What I'm gonna try to do is find a spot where I have a couple of seams to work with. Yeah. Anyways, stay tuned. I'll show you my setup and brag about this new rod that was given to me. Shout out to Uncle Mikey for the awesome rod here. We got a little bit of a current there in the middle, but the level's actually back down to about a normal level, maybe even a little bit lower than normal for this time of year. So hopefully that means that with less water to cover, I'll have a better time getting my bait in front of some fish. Let's see what happens. So we found our spot. This little river spot here, right on the bank. See that rather rapid current there in the middle, but then a nice little seam where the drop off comes back up to the shallower water. Right in there. Seen a whole bunch of roiling and boiling, but I'm not sure if that's just current eddying around or if it's fish trying to be fishy. Well, I told you I'd show you my setup, so there goes nothing. Ooh. All right, we're going for coho here, so we don't need anything too crazy. So this is the rod that Uncle Mikey just gave me. Uncle Mikey's actually not my uncle, he's my father-in-law, and I guess he likes me because this is a really pricey rod. Now this is an older model of it. He had it before and it broke when he was trying to haul in a king. So good old G. Loomis replaced it, and it's sat in his closet for the next 15, 20 years. It is still as light, if not lighter, than the Lama glass that I just broke. Anyways, I have it rigged up with trusty Shimano Calcutta, which is set up with a slip bobber float. I got my river bait hook with an egg knot that I seriously hope I tied right. We'll find out here after I get a couple of casts out. And some spawn sacks tied up by the one and only bonk man. Now, many cultures have a bonk man. They have different names for him, but he is the storied slayer of fish and bonker of such. Nah, I'm just kidding. I did it. It was me. Anyways, we'll see how these spawn sacks are tied up and how well they do. Made a little cure up myself, and I think it turned out pretty darn good, but we'll see if the fish think the same. I also brought a trusty backup Lamy, 8'6" medium heavy graphite. Got it set up with a number 5 Red Tiger Blue Fox Vibrax with a single hook, because that's what we need to use on this river for the salmon. So we'll try a little bit of both. We got a mixed bag limit on this part of the river, and I don't know, they're making their way up. They're coming through here because they're getting up to the spot where my first video was shot, and they have to go through here to get there. So hopefully I can snag a couple that are on their way. Anyways, we'll get this bait in the water and we'll see if we can't scare up some grub. All right, so here it is. I have the depth on my bobber stop. It's set at about 5 or 6 feet. That should be good, at least for the first couple of passes. First few spawn sacks that I ever used and made up, turns out they're a little bit of a better size for something bigger than a coho, something like a king. go home. Might still attack it, but whew, that is some garlicky stuff. Yikes. I'll give you 3 guesses as to what one of my special ingredients was in here, huh? Anyways, let's go get some of these purple sacks here on this hook. See if I can't get my bait loop around it. Secure this thing on the hook. These eggs I pulled out of the first couple of hens that I landed out of my good spot up there in the hills. Actually, more than half of my fish have been females. If I get many more, I'm gonna have to start releasing them just to appease my own conscience and make sure that I'm not taking the brood stock away. Although only one of them has been a wild female, the rest of them have been hatchery. Anyways, we're gonna take a look at that dye. Yeah. Nice and smelly. Oh, the rest of my setup here, I have some nifty floating monofilament that I found at the sporting goods store. And thought I'd give it a shot because the braided line just seemed like it was a little overkill. And I mean, again, shout out to the guys at Addicted for all their awesome tips on how to fish with the floating rig setup, how to fish with bobbers. But I have a hard time getting rid of my mono. So I found a good compromise, I think. We'll see how this does. But hopefully this makes it easier to mend my line. All right, here goes my first cast. So, that didn't go very good. All right. I might need to put a split shot on my line. And while I'm bringing this thing in, I'm going to need to change the stopper on my bobber setup. All right, so I did a couple of casts here between shots, and I definitely need more weight on my rig because, looks like I might need to stick a little weight further up the line here too. That could be part of the problem. It could have been just stuck on the hook. But yeah, it was definitely just not getting down to the bottom. Bobber was sitting on its side. So we'll put a couple of split shots on here in different advantageous locations and see what that does. All right, so I am about to set up the first split shot here. If I can remember, there we go, trusty pliers. So I'm going to end up, I mean, this is just so that the bobber doesn't get stuck down by the bait again. A nice little clamp down on that weight. And the intent is to keep this line down taut so that it'll actually pull the bottom half of the bobber down into the water, compensate for the rest of the weight that the buoyancy of the bobber is displacing, and make the bobber sit in the water like it is right now, instead of like that. Like that. There we go. Just still getting used to this chest harness thing for my camera. All right, and then here's one more. Split shot, I'll do it. About 3 feet up from the bait. I don't know why 3 feet, but just seemed like a good number, right? All right. All right, let's get this thing in there for a test cast and see if it's actually gonna do what I want it to do. Ooh, almost lost my camera there. All right. Definitely into a deep enough part of the river. Oh, perfect. I don't know if you can see that bobber or not. It is straight up and down. Yes. Now I just got to make sure I get the height or the depth set correctly. Possible I could have put on just a tad more line than this reel was intended to carry, but it's always hard to tell with this stuff. Cast it right into that seam, and after this I'm gonna bring up the bobber stop another foot or so. If there are fish in here, it could just be that they're not wanting the bait. All right, so here we go. Got my bobber stop. Bring it up about another foot or so. And repeat. Might be seeing some wakes around here. I don't know if it's just current. Right where the current is, over the spot where I'm standing, there's a ever so slight slack, nice little eddy. We'll see. Yeah, it might just be the day for me to switch everything back over to spinners on my other rod. It wasn't too bad of a birdie, but I want to make sure I don't have a nasty snag up in case I do hook up on something. Yep, that's far enough downstream. All right. Move downstream a little bit. Try another cast. Okay. One moment here, folks. There we go. Need to change my angle. just a little bit. So I'm moving just upstream of where I was. And I want to see if I can get out maybe like that area over by that log. I want to try to get across the rapids over to where that slack water is, because I think I might have better chances of engaging with some kind of salmonid species if I do that. But we'll just see if I can actually cast hard enough to make that happen. This is a pretty light setup. And last thing I want to do is break my brand new rod. That would just be the worst. Although, lifetime warranty no matter who owns it, so I'd be able to get it replaced, but I don't want this rod's legacy to continue it the same way that it was. All right, here we go. Oh yeah, that's right where I want it. Although, the rapid kind of took my line. It's gonna be kind of hard to mend it. That might just be too fast to water. I'd love to go back to my spot, but safety first. Especially since 2 of the 3 times that I've been there, even though it's been shallow water, I've taken a little bit of a dunk. I don't really want to do that. Especially not when I'm by myself. There we go. Nice and slow water. And that line. Man, the line. This will be good practice for me. Even if I don't catch anything, I want to get used to how this stuff works. Alright, my bait is in the slack water, right where this eddy is slowly swirling. I may have had a bite just now. I don't know, the bobber was down for about a second, but not all the way down. I'm hoping that spawn sack, being an actual spawn sack inside of a cloth material, will mean that if I did get a bite, that the eggs aren't gone. Well, I have plenty more. Nope. No, it's probably dragon bottom. Dang it. Oh well. Yeah. I'm gonna lower my bobber stop some more. It's pretty far. Okay, yeah, it's about a 4.5, 5 foot leader. See what it does. Can you see it? Yeah, here it is. Yeah, my bait's sitting on bottom with that. I gotta go just a little further out into the water. Hard to tell. I don't know this river well enough yet. But that's why I'm out here. I just saw something jump, which means I need to cast to somewhere in that general vicinity. You know, essentially we're trying to target fish here. I don't have my waders on, so I don't want to go too far out. But I'm just going to try to get, yeah, right over in that area. Saw something jump. And if you know anything about coho, what I've been learning about them is that they like to show off. So if a fish is jumping over there, and coho are running right now, and it would lead me to believe there's a good chance that it was a coho. Now, not a big one, but a coho. And as long as it's over 12 inches, I can keep it. So we'll see if I can scare that thing back up. Shout out to my wife, the amazing Alyssa, who in her lifetime has slain far more fish than I. It is Wednesday. On Friday of this week, it'll mark 10 years that we have been married. And I owe her and her father a debt of gratitude for not only embracing me into the family, but
making me feel so darn welcome. Give me a shot. Anyways, got that birdie untangled. See if I can't get this thing out there where I want it.
oh. That's just a bummer. All right, well now the current has it. So I'm just gonna let the current do the work for me. Get this birdie all the way untangled. It's been long enough since I've seen that fish jump that I think I might want to just pull this thing out of the water and put a spinner over there. I hope that I haven't missed him. I don't want to go too fast because these coho have been known to bite on the retrieve, which that would be awesome. But awesome enough that it's probably not going to happen to me today. All right, one last time. This is just such a smooth reel. It was all right, it was all right, it was all right, and then bam, it was out of hand.
What a nice rod, though. Oh my goodness.
See, filming videos for a channel, it seems like it perfectly suits how weird I am, because I can carry on a conversation with an inanimate object as if it is people, because eventually it could be people watching. Yes. All right, the bobber is right in the seam. Try not to let it go too far down the river. As long as I can still see the bobber. Yeah, that's getting to the edge of where I can see. Too much sun on this cloudy day. Nope. I'm just gonna need more weight to get over there. This is not quite heavy enough. Oh, now I know. Ooh, this weekend. So Friday is the anniversary. Not gonna do any fishing Friday. Apologies to Huckleberry Finn, my fish brain buddy. But Sunday should still be good to go. And ooh, I hope I can show another rodeo like that first time I was at my spot. Very first time I went to that spot, a couple of weeks before I shot that first video for you. Spinnerbite was on fire, caught 5 coho, 2 wild, 3 hatchery. Wild, I took a buck and a hen. The hatchery, I took 2 hens and a buck. And that was just insane. It was so much fun. Next time I went, got nothing. Got a couple of nibbles and got to watch a couple of guys bring in fish. But next week and a half or so after that, we just had tons of rain. And the rain, the rain was affecting high up enough in the hills that spot got completely washed out. And the next time I went, the third time I went and tried to fish there, it was literally, I think my noggin would have been out of water and the rest of me would have been underwater if I had tried to stand in that same spot. Which you can imagine, not too productive when you're thinking about fishing, you know. Probably would have just been carried away by the water if I had tried to fish that. So, by the way, that also a lot of times pushes fish down to some holding water because it was nasty. All right. I'm going to scooch downriver.
Making sure that I can still see where I'm trying to put my feet. Let's see if I can get down. This is slower moving water.
Closer to the bottom for longer. And in order to do that, I need to have less bottom to travel, less water for it to fall through to get to the bottom. Might just not be my day, folks. But I got a couple more hours to kill, so I'll keep going. It might be a little cloudy out. It's gorgeous. There's ducks flying around. I don't know if you could see where I was pointing, but there were some ducks there. If you couldn't see it, you have to take my word for it. You could tell they were ducks because of the way they are. So occasionally we've been seeing pinks just kind of hanging out around the shoreline, the bank line, in several different spots of the river, and just completely ignoring anything we have in the water. And obviously it's because they're spawned out. They're white-tipped, barely alive, swimming on their sides. Fulfilled their purpose and just kind of milling around, waiting to become food for another member of the food chain. In a way, it's a little sad, and also in a way, it's kind of poetic. The way everything kind of has a purpose. Now, take what you will from that statement, but it is what it is. Either way, you can't deny how beautiful it is out here. Even though I can hear trucks in the background and there's houses right by, still just gorgeous. Take a couple big boy steps down the river, as I have heard a few different people say on the YouTube. Get this spinner down closer to the bottom. let it kind of knock on the door of those fish down there and let them know there's something to chase. Hopefully find one that's on this side of the river instead of on that side of the river, and get him mad enough to bite. Oh, that's a better cast. I'm gonna have to let that one fall for a little bit. I should have been farther upstream. I'm not gonna get much action off of that. By the time it starts retrieving, it's gonna be spinning too fast because of the current. I'll just ever so slowly retrieve it. Got the rod tip pointed up. Yeah, catching rocks. Catching a nice river rock fish. Kind of hard in the teeth though. Yeah, I'm gonna need to move upstream to some shallower water, I think. This slack water is beautiful, but not really spinner friendly. There's not a whole lot of structure for me to get the spinner in behind down here. All right, 15 minutes later. So, I've been trying up this spot that's upstream from where I had been. A little bit closer to what I would hope to be a spinner run. And maybe a nibble. I get the feeling that these fish are someplace where I just can't get to them. Across the bank, other side of the stream, the river, there's some nice holding water where there very well could be several salmon laid up in these different eddies and slack pools that have formed behind the downed trees and the boulders that are in the river. But the problem with that is I can't get my gear over to them yet. I've been trying. Best I can do is to get into the middle of this crazy rapid right here. And hope that I catch a straggler that's for some reason moving upstream right there. But such has not been the case. I'm gonna keep trying just because I'm here. And you catch none of the fish that you don't try to get. So, odds might not be good, but they're a whole lot better if I actually have gear in the water. I'm sure you will all agree that the logic there is sound. I'm not gonna scare up a fish and make it jump into my lap. Although if anybody knows how to do that, I am willing to pay large sums of money to find out how. But I don't think that's the thing. There's eagles that are showing some interest in this spot of the river. There's some seagulls that are likely feasting on a washed up, spawned out pink. None of that equals fish in my belly. So we'll keep trying. I'll put on a new spawn sack and drift some more bait down the river. And then, before too long, we'll call it a day. I don't know, keep your fingers crossed, guys. For all we know, I could be about to land a great fish. Probably not, but for all you know, I might. We'll see. All right, bonkers, bonk man here. So, take a look at everything that I caught today. Look at all those rocks. Didn't catch anything. Saw a few jump. A couple of them actually rolled pretty close to where I was posted up here on the bank, but I think they're just, water just moving too fast, I'm pretty sure. I mean, I'm also not the best fisherman yet, so I can't entirely blame nature. Likely a good amount of it has to do with me not really knowing where to put my stuff yet. But I got some good practice in with the bobber, I think I figured out a couple of things I want to change and tweak on my setup, so that's good. And as is often said, a bad day of fishing is better than a good day of work. And you can add in there a bad day of fishing is probably better than a good day of a lot of other stuff too. So I still had a good time, but that's it for me today. I might be bonkers for fishing, but I ain't stupid. I'm getting rained on. It was not raining earlier, and yeah, I was not signing up to get totally drenched today. So time to pack it up. Any of you who were watching this video, I really appreciate it. Trying to build an auxiliary community and pay homage to some of the guys that are out there killing it right now, doing the fishing game, YouTube dance. I just hope to be part of the community here. So if you guys are down for that, then awesome. Click subscribe, hit the notification bell, and comment. Let me know if you think I should try something, if you got an idea where I should try. I am up here in Northwest Washington, the tippy top of Whatcom County. Literally, I can see Canada from my house. So way the heck up here. But I mean, if the fishing's good somewhere, I'll go. So if you got hints or tips or whatever, someplace that you think should be documented for some good footage, let me know. If not, that's cool too. I'll keep looking for spots myself, and anytime that I go fishing, I'm gonna have something to post. Even if it's massive haul like the one I got today. Wink, wink. Anyways, guys, till next time, signing out.